They said the truth won't survive beside the lies that maintain the decaying faces of.
Hey everybody, this is Hold the Truth Hostage, where if the truth was so important, we wouldn't negotiate with lies. Now this video is gonna be about, a new saying I've figured out, Now, a lot of people online know about white knighting. I'm thinking it's about seeking validation from others, or caping, or basically just doing something for validation of others, or I think it's simping. Basically, it's a guy stepping in for seeking to help a woman for the sake of hoping that she'll give him some, no matter the issue at hand, whether it's right or wrong, most likely when it's wrong. Now, a new saying I've figured out, and now you could add to it because I'm not 100% sure that, the way I'm saying it is right. This is a new saying. But, I encountered some, what I call dark knighting. Now, because if we have white knights, we gotta have dark knights, And what I think dark knighting is when someone only values validation from themselves, and it's to the point where they ignore the facts. They ignore when they're wrong, or what they're doing is hypocritical. And I've seen it. Dark knighting, I think it's basically when someone only thinks about their own validations and proving that whatever they're doing is absolutely right. And it doesn't matter even if they contradict themselves, even if they're hypocritical, or in some cases even lying, as long as they can stand on it and validate themselves, then what they're doing is correct. And I think that's what dark knighting is. Dark knighting, I don't call it, black knighting, because doesn't have as good of a ring to it. But dark knighting, I think, is when someone, or when someone lives only for their own validation, as in, as long as they can pat themselves on the back, it doesn't matter if they're wrong. It's where they can hold their own crusade. It's to the point where they believe they're like a chosen one, or the only person that's correct. And they'll even be hypocritical. As long as it's their platform, they'll say what they believe or think someone is doing wrong, or something wrong. Because I've seen it basically where someone will just, they make it sound like they're the ones fighting for the right fight, like they're the ones fighting for everything right, even though when you absolutely break it down, they're actually in the wrong. But because they can still pat themselves on the back, and because they have their own platform, and they can continue to, spew out that they're correct and continue to pat themselves on the back, nothing matters. Because, if we have white knighting, then, there has to be a reverse of that. And the reverse of that has to be dark knighting. And I think dark knighting is when somebody's on a crusade of what they call justice or just. But when you lay down the facts, when you lay down the facts, they can be proven to be wrong, or hypocritical. But because they can pat themselves on the back and say they're correct, it doesn't matter what you say. You know what I mean? So, that's what I had to say about that. That's what I think dark knighting is. Dark knighting is when, unlike white knighting, where, a guy is going out there to, jump in the middle for a woman, or just to jump in the middle of something just for validation of others, even if what they're doing is wrong. Dark knighting is when you jump into or represent something, even when you're wrong, but as long as you can validate yourself, and as long as you can pat yourself on the back and say what you've done is correct, the facts or the proof of hypocrisy doesn't matter. And that's what I think dark knighting is. It's kind of, I'm referencing using what they call Batman, the Dark Knight, because you gotta look at it, for example, a well-known comic script was that Batman has a contingency plan for if anyone in the Justice League goes rogue or snaps. But here's the problem with that. He has a plan for when they snap. He doesn't have a plan to prevent them from ever snapping. So basically, if someone came up with a better plan, it would outdo his own. But in all honesty, dark knighting is basically when someone believes they're in such a crusade, that they're such the representative of justice, and can ignore their wrongdoings, and can even ignore the facts that they are in the wrong, just so long as they can pat themselves on the back. And that's what dark knighting is. And I had to encounter something happened where some people were behaving like that, and it made me realize a way to call it out, a way to describe it without, taking too long. So dark knighting is basically when someone can validate themselves and ignore where they're wrong. So long as they can validate themselves, they're always right. All right. This has been Hold the Truth Hostage, where the truth is so important that we would hold it hostage and not negotiate with lies. Peace.
They said the truth won't survive beside the lies that maintain the decaying faces of